So, looking at the first topic, which is generosity in context, I know that money and church are not always what people want to talk about, right? It's not like you go out with friends, this is what you're going to be talking about around the dinner table or around lunch. There is, to be honest, an uncomfortable relationship in a lot of places between faith and money. And this quotation here, looking at a history of Christianity from the 4th century, sums it up pretty well. Our faith absolutely can exist without money. Thank goodness it can, for sure. But religious institutions cannot, right? So let that sink in. Our faith can absolutely exist without money, but religious institutions cannot. So we want to be able to talk freely about money and to engage with this topic to the very best of our abilities to help our people grow in their own discipleship, the practice of generosity, and to also help with the finances of our congregations or our ministries. So interestingly, you are doing two things when you're engaging in generosity work. You are doing moral formation for folks. How many of you are within church, working in church context? So yes, so you are absolutely in the business of this moral formation, spiritual formation, the work of moral formation, helping people grow in the virtue of generosity, right? Helping them receive that spiritual gift, helping them to participate in all the goodness that comes from being somebody who hold a little less tightly to their stuff, who is able to love their neighbor through sharing of their resources, and you're helping to make sure that the budget, your church budget, balances, and that your church, which is a form of a nonprofit organization, by the way, that you're making budget, you're paying the bills, and you're ensuring the sustainability of the church's mission and work moving forward, right? So we hold these two things, and sometimes we hold them in tension. And we want to help you do both of these things well, to work on the moral formation, to help people build up their generosity, and to engage them on how they are giving to your church. Okay. So generosity looks very, very different for a lot of people in a lot of different places. So we want to engage in generosity as fully as possible because it's important to, when we talk about generosity, we're not thinking about generosity just in dollars that people give. I mean, you would agree, right? That generosity covers a big umbrella. And people express generosity in very different ways. We need to look at generosity in this big umbrella because often what is missing is we think about generosity only within the concept of financially giving. And I think because of that, we miss out. We miss out pointing out, for example, the generosity of Gen Zs who are who are volunteering, right? With giving their time, their voice, their energy, and giving them generously. How can you celebrate generosity in all its forms? And how is it that you can help people grow in generosity? The research done on generosity and philanthropy continue to show us that people who practice generosity in one form wind up practicing it in other forms. And I don't think that surprises you, right? Generosity begets generosity. So generosity is the virtue of giving good things to others freely and abundantly. It is a learned character trait that involves attitude and action, entailing both the inclination and actual practice of giving liberally. It is not a haphazard behavior, but a basic orientation to life. What generosity gives can vary: money, possessions, time, attention, aid, encouragement, and more. but it always intends to enhance the true well being of the receiver. Like all virtues, generosity is in people's genuine, enlightened self interest to learn and practice.